Hi, I'm Kirby Allison, and we love to help the well-dressed acquire and care for their wardrobes. And this week's Shoe Shine Sunday, I'm here with Joe Hemrajani and Divij Hemrajani of MyTailor.com. Most of you know Joe and Divij Hemrajani as one of my primary shirt makers. So Joe was actually my first shirt maker. I met with him first time, I think it was 8 years ago in Hong Kong. Yes. And has really taught me so much about shirting and has really kind of allowed me to really develop my appreciation and understanding of how shirts are made and patterns and what is good craftsmanship and what is not. And then recently Joe has started making some suits for me. So I'm actually wearing a beautiful dark gray Vitale Barberis suit that is that we fit today. It's absolutely beautiful.
Right. This is their Drapers line.
Drapers, yeah.
Yeah, and it's
just a simple 12-ounce worsted wool.
It's amazing.
Dark charcoal, and totally handmade, and it's incredible. So, I'm going to shine shoes in this today. It's a little risky, I suppose. And then, of course, okay. Divij, who is Joe's youngest son. And, so Divij, I've known you for a long time also. You travel almost exclusively with your dad, but then also, you've started traveling more by yourself.
Yeah, it's been about 7 years and 3 on my own now.
Okay, that's great. So there we are. So Shoe Shine Sunday, we're each going to shine a pair of our shoes. We're going to chat about just shirt making and suit making and tailoring. And but first let's go around and talk about what we're going to be shining today. So I've got a pair of bespoke, cleverly hole cuts. These aren't seamless hole cuts, as you can see. They've had some wear. The wax on the toe is beginning to kind of crack a little bit, so these really need to be just repolished. This is a beautiful burgundy with what is called their museum calf, which is the antiquing. And so I'm going to polish this with the Renovateur, just a neutral, so I can keep that antiquing and then really work on kind of building the shine up around the toe. This is actually my first pair of bespoke shoes from them, so I've had these for, nice. I don't know, 5 years probably.
Oh, great. Mine is a Botticelli. I bought it in New York, and probably the ones that fit me the best and for dress shoes.
And I have a black Santoni, just rubber soles for daily wear, and nice socks for cattail.
Yeah, absolutely. It's actually a really nice last design with those shoes. So, so we each have some polish. I'm going to use the Renovateur, and then Joe, I got some number 34 Havana Brown. This has a little bit of red in it, but the more I look at it under light, I think it's a nice brown. You could start with the Renovateur also if you wanted to, and then Divij, of course, you've got some black, down there at the end. So I guess let's get started.
Okay.
So you've got your chamois right there, Joe. Why don't you grab that and then kind of reach into this. And I recommend the primary use of a cream polish, especially a pigmented cream polish, because one, it's going to do the best job really nourishing and hydrating the leather. Actually, I'm going to brush mine first. You might brush yours first.
Yeah, that's what I was going to do first.
But it also, the pigment, here you go. The pigment does a great job recoloring the shoe, which is really important for a shoe that's been worn often. So Joe, you've been in the business for a long time. I mean, at this point, you're a veteran. A lot of the people watching this channel, maybe, don't have their shirts made. Maybe they're interested in kind of having some suits made. I'm a big advocate of, spending a little bit more money and getting something that's made for you and that fits properly.
Absolutely.
And, one of the things I really love about MyTailor, about Hemrajani Brothers, is, the price points are really exceptional. And, unlike so many other people out there, I mean, you're so passionate about shirt making. You actually, have a really strong command, as good as anyone I've ever seen on pattern making. So, for the value, I mean, price for quality, I mean, gosh, you've got to be one of the best values out there anywhere.
Yes.
Now, how do you approach that? I mean, because again, you bring a degree of pattern making to your shirts that, really is bespoke quality. I mean,
yes.
It is.
So starting with price, right? I mean, we buy our own fabrics, we source our own fabrics, we have a very good relationship with mills, and we stock and we control the quality of some of your basic whites, your basic blues, your basic, and the fancies, but our basics are 100% produce for us, some of our house brands. We also carry,
Follow
Thomas.
good construction too of the,
Yeah.
good yarn base is
Good
gonna yield a
buttons, good
cloth.
interlining, good everything. And it's just good. All the ingredients are good. It's like
And
you're
you really
using the
said
best
it.
polish. I mean,
Yeah, it starts with the raw ingredient. But I mean, you've been in the business for a long time, and really, I mean, a lot of that is the product of you having built it
yes.
over several decades, right? I mean, someone that's just looking to start a shirt company, out of the box and start marketing that on Instagram or something. I mean, they wouldn't be able to bring the same degree of, pattern making and knowledge of patterns and sourcing and fabrics,
Absolutely.
that you could.
Oh yeah. It's passion right from the pattern making to the actual fabric, to the buttons, and to what goes in the interline. I mean, the interlining makes a difference. How the collar sits after a few years.
How do you decide? I mean, are most of the things that you're doing for your clients fused or non-fused? Is that really personal preference?
Yeah, I think it's about 80% fused. Believe it or not.
Really?
80 to 90%.
And what is that? Just people not wanting? I mean, is it really more of a function of the quality of dry cleaners not being
Yes.
able to press a
It's
non-fused collar?
it's a no-brainer for the dry cleaners, for the laundry, literally. I mean, people freak out when they see that little wrinkle on the collar. They say, "Oh my God, your shirts are defective." So it's not that. It's just when it's floating canvas, it's just a little bit
It has to be pressed properly.
properly. Absolutely, it's an art to press.
And that's not easy. I mean, pressing is an art.
Pressing is an art. Absolutely.
And the work that you guys put, wrap it around your fingers like this. This will make it easier.
Okay.
So just 2 fingers. Yeah, pull it back. Otherwise, you're gonna make a mess over there. Don't want you to ruin anything. No.
Watch, you start like this and put it in fingers.
So
Then
2
just
fingers.
Grab it in the back and twist it,
Twist it.
and then hold it in the front.
And then how do you try to keep it because there's a bunch of polish right there. I don't want you to get your
So
suit
just
dirty.
use 2 fingers, Ed. If you're 3, it's too many.
It's okay. All right, 3 is good.
For me, shirts was the first thing I ever had made,
Yeah.
right? Because you can do it for as little as $100.
Yeah.
And with Hemrajani, I mean, the quality of pattern making that someone gets for their $100 shirts is really the same as someone that is buying, a DJA, $300 shirt or $350 shirt from
definitely.
you. And that same shirt, the same quality, from someone else would easily cost 2, 3, 4 times as much money.
Yes.
Yeah, we're making a workshop too, so it's not like we're sending to a factory outside to be made and come back. We actually control the pattern, which I think is also probably one of the distinguishing parts about shirt making.
Yeah. Well, so you guys are doing all of the pattern making yourself, which is a pretty big deal.
Yes.
So someone that's coming in, and seeing you for the first time, where do they get started? I mean, what do you tell them? I mean, there's so much misinformation out there.
First order is, all about the fit. Fabric can be, if they want to choose something more expensive, luxurious, if they generally like the feel, or it can be any basic cotton poplin, works well to test the fit and really see how the fabric drapes on the body. Then from there, fabric selection is easy. Once the fitting is dialed, body type is selected, and pattern is created at that point.
I mean, that's one of the interesting things about shirt making is that it really is so much about fit that you'll spend a lot of time getting that right in the beginning.
Yeah.
I mean, not a lot of time. I mean, it's
even
actually
custom-
not much time compared to a suit. But once you have your shirt fit kind of nailed,
Not much changes.
not much changes. Versus a suit where, really for something to be, properly done, I mean, really you need to be fitting every fabric, right? Because every fabric is going to react differently to the pattern.
Right.
We have people that try different collars, more as the style evolves, preference, and maybe to go with a different outfit.
Yeah. I mean, I think, my personal opinion there is to just kind of keep it a little simple. I mean, I've got, my spread collars, for, my dress shirts, and then I've got my Cooper collar, which,
collar.
of course, as you guys know, I'm a huge fan of.
Yeah.
Joe,
Yeah.
you were the one that actually, ruined
started.
me with the Cooper collar, which, for those that don't know, the Cooper collar is meant to be worn open without a tie, and it has a single piece collar. How would you describe it? One piece collar?
It's a one-piece collar that has a natural rollover, natural fold. You just control the fold in the back and let the front just roll.
Its elegance is shown without the tie, of course.
It's beautiful. I mean, it's. I remember vividly seeing you wear that whenever we were first meeting in Hong Kong and saying, "What was that?" You were a little reluctant to spill the secret sauce to me, and it's been really my shirt of choice, especially with the nice, beautiful linen.
Oh yeah.
But even just a white cotton, dress shirting, if you're going to wear it without a collar or without a tie. And then talk to me about your suits. So, you guys have really gotten into suiting in a big way, and that's again kind of drawing on the fact that you've got, so much history, so much experience, in the industry. I mean, you guys have been selling suits, since forever.
Yeah. So we used to do the one-shot measurements and then delivery. Now we're doing more and more of the bespoke fitting, and that's going to make a difference. And this brand new sending a fitting garment is also going to be one of our selling features, and I think that's the future. Customers demand more, they want more.
Fresh now.
Yeah,
fresh.
yeah. Demand more, they want more, and we can offer the same as any bespoke tailor at a much more reasonable price.
Yeah.
And we have access to all the fabrics, and we have in-house. We have our house brand fabrics also. So, and we have access to all of. So if something like a fabric you have on, if it starts selling well, we'll stock, bring the price down by 30%, on the fabric itself. So,
but someone that is, a lot of people are doing work out of Hong Kong, right? And there's actually Hong Kong, because the fact it was a British territory, actually has a very rich tradition in tailoring. So there's actually some exceptional tailors over there. It's not like,
very few.
It's the B team,
It's a very few exceptional tailors there, very, very few now. And everybody's into that 24-hour suits and...
So a range of quality from...
Yeah, but
you've been able to find the good ones.
We've been able to find and keep the really quality guys, the quality pattern makers. There's very few left in Hong Kong.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, very few.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's like anywhere in the world today, there's very few good old artisans.
Good old ones. Yeah. You guys have two offers. You've got your kind of like, your
semi-bespoke.
Semi-bespoke offer, which is one of the ones we fitted today with the trowel garment.
Yes.
And then you've got your fully bespoke garment, which is hand-drafted patterns, fittings, kind of everything.
Right.
Divij, you see a lot of people who are probably coming in for the first time. What does that conversation look like? Someone that's never had a suit made before, where do you even start?
A lot of people look for recommendation, what would work better for them. And some people like to really dial the fit down. That's where we go towards more of a base, full basted, bespoke process. Some customers generally can be an easier fit. Yeah. So sometimes the made to measure is more efficient and a little bit quicker process for them, whereas a bespoke can...
Keep on working, Joe.
Okay, sounds good.
Can add a few weeks to the process, but really shines in the end.
Buff.
So the long-term process, the bespoke is a nice way to go.
Yeah. Coming in, I'm buying my first suit from you guys. What do you suggest?
It's not going to be the peak lapel. It's not going to be the double-breasted. It's just a classic suit.
What is that though?
It's a classic. If someone is on a budget, we highly recommend our classic, basic VBC 110s. It's an excellent price-performance fabric.
For cloth, style-wise, 2-button, side vents would be more updated with a lot of single vent for more conservative wear. Notched lapel, generally, we're making more than peak.
Yeah.
Especially for a first suit in daily use. The notch is, more typical.
Belt loops, tabbed,
Belt
braces.
Loops, tabs are increasingly becoming more popular as people see, without the line of the break of the belt. Yeah, it can be a more seamless and cleaner look.
Ever since I started having suits made, I'll never forget my first tailor, Chris. He said, look, if your trousers fit, why would you need a belt? You know, and if you're having them made, they should fit.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, but I also love the simplicity of it. Is like whenever I travel, I don't have to bring a belt. Like that's
Don't feel it sitting down all day is also important.
And it's cooler, I think.
so, you know. And then what about pleats? I mean, you know, do you see a lot of guys still insisting on no pleats, or is that something?
A lot of. It's like,
Do you try to talk them out of it?
no, we don't actually, because I think, you know,
Put a second
then
layer
they
of
get.
wax or
Well, so you did one coat of cream.
cream, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty good. I mean, you know, with the cream, you know, you can do more than one coat if you want to, but I'd say grab some wax polish. You've got some black wax polish. You've got the high shine chamois.
So do one. Now you can.
Yeah, let's see. So you've done one coat, right? And you know, you could probably use a little bit more polish. Let me see these. I'll give these to me for a few seconds.
Hey, let me see. Let me see the.
So this poor chamois got into a fight and lost with you. But so hand me the polish, because you can see some discoloration across the vamp.
Okay.
So I just want
So
to
let
make
me
sure.
learn. Yeah.
You know, and you really want to work the polish
In
into the leather. We want it to. Sorry, Divij. Keep on going. So, I mean, you don't try to talk him off the ledge. You should send him to me. I can't stand no pleats. At least do single pleats.
Yeah.
You know.
I think people are used to seeing what's, you know, magazines on TV, what's the most contemporary look. So they'll see the
I don't
plain
see.
front.
I don't think they even put
But Joe, 20, 30 years ago, like you wouldn't even imagine making a pair of
without pleats.
without
But
pleats.
now they want to. They focus on like, I gotta be. It's a fashion to have no pleats. They don't pay attention to comfort or a real classic look. No, it's just.
Maybe fashionable
fashionable today, not tomorrow.
Today and yesterday, not tomorrow, right?
But you reach a certain, I mean, okay, so like if you're 18 or 19, okay, I guess I can understand. Like,
Even 30, 25,
pleats,
30.
But come on, I mean, the moment that you're an adult, I feel like you should be adding some pleats back into your dress trousers.
Also adds a touch of formality for a suit or flat front on like a casual pair. Sometimes like jeans, normally you would see no pleats on a pair of jeans. So generally more casual chino wear is good for no pleats.
So I'm really working this into the leather.
Nice.
And then aside from pleats, we see a lot more people changing the shoulder types now, which we also incorporate.
Yeah, I mean, because you guys can really do anything. I mean, so what about, I mean, what do you see the changes in shoulder types? I mean, I enjoy a little bit of roping, which, you know, is...
You enjoy structure, a little bit of structure.
Yeah.
Yeah, just nice though. It looks good on you.
And so the roping, you know, just allows the
here's
sleeve
how
to
it
pop a
works.
little bit.
If you have a sloping shoulder, structure is good. If you have a very straight, square shoulder, then the structure,
It's not needed.
yeah, you not need it.
And I guess the structure is good, right? Because you're helping to adjust and balance
Of course.
the slope, right? And you've got to do that with something.
Somebody who has very high shoulders,
Right.
we recommend ultralight padding or no padding.
Okay.
It's really good.
Sometimes I base my shoulder on the fabric or the look I'm going for at that moment.
Like if you want a shirt feeling jacket, then you want no padding.
And you guys, I mean, you guys do unlined.
We
or
could do
three-quarter
unlined, we
line.
do three-quarter line, quarter lined, no padding. So we're very flexible. I mean, we've got
Cuffed, uncuffed.
uncuffed, cuffed.
And what, I mean, so a cuff, you know, how big of a cuff would you?
For a business suit or... you know,
I like the wider cuffs, 1 3/4 or 2 inches. I love.
Because that's, I mean, that was the style back, you know, what, like a 2-inch turn up.
Yeah.
I mean, when was that? 70s? No, before that.
Yeah,
Right?
for 60s, 70s. Yeah.
I think some gentlemen under 5'9" feel like the cuff breaks them up too much. The jacket length is cut appropriate, then the pants cuff won't interrupt the line.
Well, and that's the most important thing. Like if you're short, like you almost have to be having something made, because you can't find a jacket that is cut to an appropriate length.
Yeah, I think details. I mean, there's cuffs add detail, and details are always good. You know.
Okay, so you would do turn-ups 2-inch if someone, you know, would do it. What else? Would you do high-waisted, low, normal rise? What else are we
A
doing?
classic rise.
Classic rise.
Make sure it has a place to rest on his hip bone. whoever is buying, you know. So it just sits right on the hip
It's a
bone.
fuller thigh. I'd make single pleat, and you know, slimmer gentlemen, sometimes double pleats can actually look very nice to emphasize the pleats.
So you're saying that someone that's slimmer, I would have suspected the opposite would have been true, that if you were fuller, you would have done
Fuller two pleats, I'd do the pleats outwards, and slimmer gentlemen, the single, if they like the look of the pleats, the double pleats turned in has a very elegant English cut to it.
What type of jacket would you make?
Nice two-piece suit, single-breasted, a medium lapel, two-button, halfway between the lapel size. If you're a real big guy, I'd go nice wide lapels.
Yeah, tall and slim, I'd do straight pockets with the ticket pocket. It's nice.
Yeah, I'd find out what you do for a living, and
Sometimes a little fuller gentlemen, slanting pockets is an excellent look too.
And how does that help? What is that?
Just a little bit less of a horizontal look, a little bit more angle.
and if you have a long torso, add the double ticket pocket.
So single-breasted, notch lapel, and then of course it fits great.
Yes,
You do maybe a ticket pocket
if he's got a long torso.
if he's got a long torso. All right. So you should see it's coming along. It's been a while since you polished your shoes, Joe.
I think I do that the
Airport shine?
no, I do go to the Nordstrom shoe places.
All right, so work on brushing the other one. This is turning out really nice. So what type of fabric?
Fabric for first suit, sometimes first suit they're making in a while, a little bit heavier and tougher, like the one you're wearing is nice, something that'll hang, drape, and last, right? If it's one of your only suits and you want it to, you know, be able to use it for a while, then a little bit of body is okay.
So personal preference, you know, do you prefer supers or do you prefer, you know, heavier
I prefer the 110s or no super.
or no super at all?
Yeah. And if you want a really soft feel, you know, if you go for super, go for the 160s and make it really luxurious.
for it.
Yeah.
I'm a luxury guy, so I like a little bit of feel to it. Super 130s, 150s.
But you travel a lot. I mean, does that give you any durability?
Not so much. But if you keep it, you know, 130s, you're still okay. It's just on the road or for daily use. 150s, you know, you get a little bit more refined patterns, so the look of the suit has, you know, more detailing inside it. Not so much for solid, it's okay, but for like a pattern, higher numbers, you really get a really definition in the pattern.
So once you get to the toe, use the high shine chamois, which you guys have helped inspired you guys. This is actually a shirting fabric that you guys use on some of my shirts. So take some water, a little bit of water on your chamois, Divij, right? And then what I like to do is I'll tap and get a little bit of wax polish on my chamois just because it helps kind of melt what's there. And then just start buffing in circular motions until you're able to get a little shine developed. So
Just the toe box, right?
just the toe.
Once we're done with your
Joe, we're going to let you just talk.
once you're done with your suit and your sport jacket, I'm going to get you started with some cashmere jackets.
So what are you wearing? What are you guys wearing today?
I'm wearing a 4-ply fresco from Fin Moresco.
Okay, that's nice. It looks like suiting fabric. I mean, you can hardly see.
Tough and durable, good for the road.
Okay. How many suits will you travel with, Divij?
I travel with 3 suits for 2 weeks.
How many? And then just 3 complete suits and the odd trousers?
Sometimes I'll take 1 suit, 2 suits, and then extra pants with each. So I have 4 pants, 2 jackets. And less bulk on the jacket weight, and can still get use out of the pants, switching it daily.
Do you like frescoes? Is that, you've got a lot of them? Or?
Fresco is nice, tailors well, hangs well, very easy to care for. So for like on the road, it's just take it out of the bag, hang it up overnight, and can wear it the next morning. We don't recommend steam clean in the shower is too harsh of a environment sometimes for the suit. So just hanging out for any suit in general.
Really? So you don't recommend that?
I don't recommend steam cleaning in the shower. I mean, letting it steam out, because the steam remains in the fabric. The cleaners they shoot steam and they vacuum it out.
If you lightly pack the suit and then unpack it right as you arrive at your destination, usually by the next morning you can put it on and not see any wrinkles on the suit.
So Joe, what are you wearing today?
Oh, I'm wearing a Harrison's, I think it's 13.5-ounce flannel.
That's pretty heavy.
Yeah, it's the same weight as yours, but this one
February
feels a lot
Dallas.
hotter. Yeah,
So it feels hotter.
feels warmer
Really?
because of the rough texture.
Okay. So Joe, how have you seen changes in, I mean, you've been in this forever. I mean, it's, you know, I mean, how's the, because you've been experimenting a lot lately. I mean, the last time you were here in Dallas, I mean, you showed me, you know, you're doing, you know, custom polos now. You're doing, you know, shirt jackets is another thing. I mean, in some ways, I mean, a lot of people are starting to dress up more than they used to, but you still have a lot of people that are pretty casual. And you
Yeah,
guys-
we do. We in San Francisco, we started selling a lot of these casual vests. We call them gillets. We're doing a lot of nice gillets.
Okay.
We're doing a. I always travel with 3 suits and a shirt jacket.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yeah, I love shirt jackets.
And how will you wear the shirt jacket? Will you
I
wear
wear
that
the
onto an
jeans.
airplane or?
I
On the
wear
plane.
jeans on the plane. I love shirt jackets in pure cashmere. They feel like second skin.
cashmere?
Yes.
And out to dinner, if you don't want to feel too blazer-ish, you can put the shirt jacket on. I think a lot of trends are moving towards casual and then still get the 2 extremes where still everyone.
Do you still think it's still moving towards casual, or is it starting to kind of rebound?
I think it's.
I kind of feel like it's in the midst of a little bit
I
of a
think
rebound.
there's 2 extremes now where the in-between is
You know,
phasing
not
out.
not including California, because California is an anachronism. Yes.
No, no.
You know, because California is still very casual, right?
Yeah, still very casual. I think it's. I don't think it's changing anytime soon.
So, Divij, if you were to make a suit, you know, what would your next suit be?
I would make double-breasted or single-button peak lapel.
Single button peak lapel.
Yeah, single-button peak lapel, slanting pockets, very slanting.
Very slanting. And what? Just what would you do it out of?
I would make, today I would make a very high, you know, super number, super 150s, 170s. Not for the road, just for, you know, spring, summer coming up. I like a little finer feel, so I don't feel like I'm wearing a suit sometimes. Sometimes you don't want to have, you know, you don't like the drape of anything on your body, so you just get the ultra fine fabric, feels and wears most comfortable.
Joe, what's your next suit?
I love linen, and I love that weight you bought. I love the quality of the suit that it turned out, the one you have on.
The one I have on.
Yeah, I love that. I've seen that in navy. It's a beautiful navy suit. Like a little bit. I always like a little color in my navy, just a little bit brighter. I love that.
Yeah, kind of like, I mean, you've got some color. I mean, it's, you know, it's not a true navy.
Yeah, a little bit,
Right.
little bit lighter than a true navy. You have a few linen suits.
You know, I've got one linen suit, and then I've got 3, do I have two fresco suits? Yeah, I mean, the linen suit, you know, I mean, the thing about the linen suit is it's a seasonal suit. I mean, you know, you're only really wearing it,
It's frivolous.
you know, for a few months of the year.
It's a frivolous purchase.
And it was done with a real contrasting pick stitch, which I really, you know, wouldn't, it's Italian, so, you know, there's certain, whenever you have an Italian tailor make something, there's certain decisions you don't get to make.
So I can buff the vamp here too, right? Same
Yeah,
way
you can
water.
buff it. So, Divij, what's it like? I mean, what is it like traveling with your father? I mean, how's?
I'm lucky my father and I get along so well. I think otherwise it may be difficult, but you know, I'm lucky to have a mentor.
Yeah, but you're like what, the 3rd generation in the tailoring business. I mean, does that, you know, ever seem? I mean, do you ever just? Does that kind of sit in? You know, where it's
yeah,
like,
it sets in. You know,
it's pretty neat to.
funny
you know,
that you know every day is something new still for me. I've been working for my father for 10 years, so like, and still today, there's a situation with fit, with fabric, with the customer's needs, their preference always changes. Something new, requests are new, so something still evolving, right? With style, as a person changes and grows, so does their style. Especially somebody that hasn't worn a suit to somebody that's been wearing a suit for longer than I've been born.
Yeah, yeah, literally. That's so. What I mean, what's been kind of the biggest challenge? I mean, it's a pretty steep learning curve, but you know, I mean, you're doing a great job.
Yeah, he's a great tailor. He's
Fitting-
picked up
fitting
measurement,
is,
fitting is.
So when is he better than you? Already?
He's already. He's more meticulous about the fit. I will let go of some things that he won't let go. He's more of a perfectionist.
Yeah.
So I'll say, oh, I think it's okay. Slight loose or slight, and the pedal. He said, no, it's got to be perfect. I said, okay, let me correct it, make it perfect.
So one of the things that a lot of people ask is, there's all these other. There's so many brands out there now, especially doing made to measure. It's like every street corner. There's as many made to measure clothing companies as there are gas stations these days. How do you differentiate? You guys have always respected the fact that you really have a passion and a knowledge for the craft, and you're fully integrated, right? So you guys are doing the patterns yourself and cutting the fabric and doing the making versus some other online company where you take your own measurements and email them to someone halfway on the other side of the world, and then they make a cheap garment with plastic buttons, the same that you would get from Target. I feel like with the shirt and with the suit, the foundation is pattern making. And so how do you guys really deliver a higher quality of pattern making? How do you approach that?
No, I think it starts from that basic measurement. When you walk in the room, the first move is get the right measurement, right? And understand exactly how you like your clothes. How much can you? How much can these guys really capture that from the customer?
Well, especially just all online. Yes. But what about in terms of how the pattern is created? People say, we do bespoke shirts, and I'm like, you don't know two things about pattern making. How can you do a bespoke shirt?
Also, they don't know how to relate to the pattern maker. Even if they don't know how to make a pattern, they need to know how to communicate with the pattern maker.
Yeah.
Right. Sizing is one thing, but interpreting that sizing is...
And perception, some customers, you and I can be the same size, but we have different preferences.
And body type.
You and Divij are very similar in size, but totally different.
Shoulder, slope, pitch.
Yeah, we'd get a totally different garment.
Totally different garment.
And then beyond even that is interpreting, how you would like your clothes to fit. It's also important. Interpreting, the way you would like.
When the garment comes in, you'll say.
Yeah, but you guys are doing, pattern making at a level that is, really at bespoke for shirts. You guys are able to do it on scale because it's electronic.
Yes.
But that's not. Most, a lot of these made-to-measure shops, yes, they'll take your measurements, but they're spitting it through a block pattern. It's, customized, I suppose, but only to, in some ways, a really elementary level.
Yeah. And it's like you said, it's marketing. It's all marketing.
If you see something that you don't like, it, should be voiced to your tailor, and your tailor should, incorporate that, how you feel about it.
And we have one of the best CRM, which is customer relationship management software, that we've designed ourselves.
Really?
So that's why it's a fully integrated system, and every conversation with a customer, every interaction is recorded.
And size.
And so he can call back and say, oh, okay, in 2014 I bought this shirt. Do you still have that same? Can you make it the same style? I say, yes, we can. Can you make it the same size? Yes, we can.
Because I've got some shirts like that I've almost had for so long. Yeah. From you, I just want to say, just remake it,
Exactly.
add a few inches.
Yes, add an inch. Most of the time it's
an
like
inch, yeah.
An inch here, half an inch there, and you've got a brand new, beautiful shirt.
I would have my shirts made longer today than whenever I probably first had you start making them for me.
It always happens.
Because it's like, well, I'm still going to wear my shirts untucked. Yeah. And then again, I feel like you reach a point where you become an adult, and you're like, no, I'm not. Not going to be that guy, walking around
with the untucked shirt.
With the untucked shirt, with jeans at the mall.
No, that's not going to happen.
We like to have, if you do wear untucked, we like two separate siders.
We have your casual style, we have your dress style. And then we have a polo style.
Polo style, yeah. But that's a proper kind of like polo shirt, right?
Like a polo shirt with the slimmer size, slimmer shoulder.
You know, and you can even do it out of like a cotton, knitted.
Knitted fabric. If you have beautiful knits.
What's your favorite casual shirt to wear, Kirby, if you're not wearing a suit?
You know, if it's the right time of year, it's, almost without question, my linen Cooper collar shirts.
White or blues?
You know, I prefer blues. I'm not a big fan of like white linen shirts. They're too
sheer for you?
too flat and too sheer.
But I have to.
But a nice, beautiful baby blue, or even if it's white with a little bit of like a, Prince of Wales or something to it.
Are you stripes or checks?
You know, I am a stripes person.
Yeah, I love white linen shirts in Hong Kong. It gets so hot. It's in the 80s and 90s, and sometimes 100 degree. Nothing like a white linen shirt.
And you don't have the air conditioning that we have here in Texas.
So white is cool. White is pure, but unfortunately, white doesn't last long.
Yeah, well, you need a good dry cleaners, that's for sure. Do you launder all your own shirts?
I launder, in Hong Kong we launder at home. So we use fused collars there, some of the shirts. Linens I like to have non-fused. And in the US, we have very good laundry. We love non-fused. They keep a beautiful shape. I've never worn fused shirts for dress. Because I would have them laundered by a good cleaner with the lightest of starch. It comes out really nice.
All right, I think I'm pretty close. What do you think?
Fantastic.
Divij,
I'm shined.
you're pretty shine. You're ready for another few thousand miles. Well, if anybody has any questions about anything we discussed, in this Shoe Shine Sunday video, please ask them in the comment section below. Joe's a good friend. We've got some great content that's coming out here soon with some fittings that Joe did for some suits. I've got 2 suits currently in the works. Well, I guess one finished, which is the one you see today.
Sport jacket
and some odd trousers. So this was the full bespoke. You guys have probably seen by now we've released the first fitting video that we did a few months ago with the basted fitting. And then today, we finished it. It's a few kind of minor alterations that we'll make, but those will be turned around pretty quickly. Yeah. And then we have another suit that you guys are working on.
It's a sport jacket and pants.
Sports jacket and pants. That is your semi-bespoke kind of offer, which I'm really excited about. And you guys just started doing trial garments for that, which, at $1,000, $1,200, I mean, is a fantastic value.
It's an excellent value. And the quality is no compromise in quality.
Yeah, it's still floating canvas, right? I mean, there's certainly some differences in how the work is actually done, but still beautiful. So.
Yep. Once you get the size, you're right on there.
And so here you go, nice soft shine on those. With a little bit more time, I could really get them to
No,
pop
this
out.
is good. I mean, you spend a lot of time
I'll
on them.
finish this one a little bit and a little bit.
No,
but
you're sold me on getting these polishes and
you got to put Divij to work,
No,
It's
no, no.
like-
He offered to shine them for me, but
Well, this High Shine Chamois makes all the difference. So thanks for your help with
this
this.
one, oh yeah, this is amazing.
Thank you guys for joining me for Shoe Shine Sunday. If anyone's interested in learning more about MyTailor, of course, mytailor.com, Instagram, MyTailor. I mean, you guys are traveling to 30 cities. So, even if you're not interested in some shirts, I would highly encourage everyone to see if Joe and Divij travel to your city and drop by and say hello for me. I can guarantee you that if you don't end up getting something, you'll at least end up learning something. I'm Kirby Allison. Thanks for joining me.